Today marks the beginning of the third special session. State lawmakers will focus on redistricting, redrawing political boundaries based on the latest census data. 25 News reporter Jarrell Baker tells us why this process is so important.
A proposed redistricting map was released this weekend. Now, some believe that the map will give more representation to Bell County, but some believe that it will exclude people of color. State lawmakers are back in Austin for yet another special session, but this time they'll be focusing on redistricting. Many are optimistic since the 2020 census showed growth all across Central Texas.
For the past 10 years, the state of Texas has been growing by leaps and bounds. We also know that approximately 90 to 95% of that growth has been in communities of color.
It's just really important that these lines be drawn, and they be drawn fairly, and they be drawn so that all people are represented.
This happens every 10 years. This time around, local political leaders are looking to get more representation. But since Republicans have a majority in the House and the Senate, Democratic leaders believe that they'll use this process as an opportunity to enhance their power by gerrymandering.
I'm going to draw districts that allow your party to win just enough across a bunch of districts that will sort of expand or enhance your political power, give you more seats.
Which Democrats believe will impact communities of color.
People of color have traditionally tended to vote more Democratic than Republican. So Republicans are aware of this, and they will use those the redrawing of those lines to dilute power of those voting groups, groups that traditionally vote Democratic.
The Supreme Court ruled that political gerrymandering is okay, but gerrymandering based on race is not. Local Republican leaders say this is not the case, and they want to ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to vote.
I do hope that it is drawn fairly and to the best of everybody's ability. I don't think the negative is good. We need to all work together, and then once all the drawing is done and the thing is over, we need to work together.
This is the first time in decades that federal law allows Texas to draw and use political maps without federal approval. The approval was to ensure that they were not depriving people of color of voter rights. In Killeen, Jarrell Baker, 25 News.
Jarrell, thank you. In addition to redistricting, lawmakers will be discussing COVID vaccine mandates and exemptions, transgender sports, and dividing the $16 billion in federal COVID relief funding. They'll also be revisiting a bill that would protect dogs from dangerous restraints.